Are there any questions over the homework? Questions over any of the homework assignments? There's no questions over the homework. We're going to go on and get started. What we're doing today is almost the exact same thing we've been doing all week. Really, it's the exact same thing except for one main difference. The vertex is going to be at the origin. The vertex is going to be at the origin. So the vertex is 0, 0. That is the only difference. So if we look at this first example, identify the focus, directrix, and axis of symmetry with this given equation. X equals negative 1/4 y squared. So our x equals matches up with our x equals a times y minus k squared plus h. Now for us to find all this information, we do need p, h, and k. But to get p, we'll first find a. Now looking at this information here, what's the value of a? A would be negative 1/4. H, the value being added to the equation is 0 because there's nothing being added on to it. So there is no h value. There's nothing being added or subtracted from y inside parentheses. So the value of k is also 0. Questions on how we found a, h, and k? Now p, questions? P is the value we need for our formulas for the vertex, directrix, focus, axis of symmetry. Well, P is equal to 1/4 times A. And to find this here, we're going to plug it into the calculator. We can say 1/4 times negative 1/4, which is negative 1. So the value of P is negative 1. Now, I didn't ask for the vertex, but we can go on and give that here. Because our vertex is the point H comma K. H is 0, K is 0. So the vertex is 0, 0. Focus. For our x equals equation, the focus is H plus P, comma K. So we'd have 0. Now H plus P we do need to calculate. Well, H is 0 plus P, which is negative 1. This tells us the focus is negative 1, 0. Directrix. In the general form, it's x equals k minus p. So we do need to find the value of k minus p. Or sorry, not k, h. H minus p, well, that'd be 0 minus negative 1. Well, our negative makes a positive. So 0 plus 1 is. So the directrix is x equals 1. Last one is axis of symmetry. The general form is y is equal to k, and our value of k is and that's it. And really, after doing all the ones where the vertex was not 0, 0, it makes the ones where the vertex is 0, 0 a little bit nicer. Questions on these here? Are we ready for the next one? 0.5x squared. Y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. A is 0.5. What's the value of h? 0. K is 0. Well, again, we can go on to find p, because p is equal to 1 over 4a. 1 over 4 times 0.5 is 0.5. Because all we're doing is 1 over 4 times 0.5. 4 times 0.5 is a half, or 2. 1 over 2 is a half. Get back where we started. We didn't ask for the vertex, but we can go on and get the vertex. Vertex is the point h comma k. So this would be 0, 0. Focus. Since we have y equals, it is now h comma k plus p. H is 0. K plus p would be 0 plus 0.5, which is 0.5. So the focus is 0 comma 0.5. We could say 0 comma 0.5. We put the 0 in front of the 0.5. That works too. Or we can say 0.5. Questions on vertex or focus? We ready for directrix? Directrix. Y equals k minus p. That'd be 0 minus 0.5, which is negative 0.5. And lastly, axis of symmetry. X is equal to 0. Because it's our x is equal to h. Questions on this so far? Are we good with this so far? Yes. I'm going to scroll up. Let's do one more. Again, to find everything we need A, H, and K, but we can use A to find P. A is negative 1/2. H and K are both 0. There's nothing being added to it, so there is no H. There is nothing added to Y inside parentheses, so there is no K. So we get this here. P. Most likely, you're just going to grab the calculator, do 1 over 4 times negative 1/2 and get negative 1/2. It didn't ask for the vertex, but vertex is h comma k, which would be 0, 0. Focus. For x equals, it's h plus p, comma k. Well, our k value is 0. H plus p would be 0 plus negative 1/2, which is, well, negative 1/2. Directrix. X is equal to h minus p, which would be 0 minus negative 1/2. Our minus a negative makes a plus giving us positive 1/2. Questions on this so far? Unless the axis of symmetry would be what? Yes, but we're just missing one thing. The y equals. Yep. Because axis of symmetry and directrix are going to be an equation. X equals or y equals, respectively. Question on any of this here? How do we feel about these so far? We like these here? Do we need to see another example? All right. In this case, we're going to move on. They give us information, we're going to find the equation. Now, the directrix for this here is y is equal to 3. They did tell us the vertex is 0, 0. K minus. Now, since they did give us the directrix as y equals 3, that means our general form for this is our y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. Questions on how we got to the general form? Bless you. We're good from going from the information to the general form for this here. Yeah, because the only one of the two equations that has a directrix of y equals is our y equals equation. So at this point here, we need to find the values of a, h, and k. We get all three, we can plug them in. Well, h is 0. K is 0. A we still need to find. But our k minus p is equal to 3, just from the directrix equation. But k is 0. So we're just saying 0 minus p is 3, yes? Well, wait, 0 minus p is just negative p is equal to 3. To make p positive, we just need to divide or multiply both sides by negative 1, saying p is negative 3, which is good. Because now that we have that, we can find a, which is our 1 over 4p. 1 over 4 times negative 3. 1 over 4 times negative 3 is 1 over 12. Any questions on how we found AHK? Are you ready to plug A, H, and K in? So our A would be negative 1/12 times x minus 0 squared plus 0. Yes. Because our x minus 0 squared is just the same as x squared, or just x squared. But adding the 0 to the end doesn't do anything, so really, all we need is y equals negative 1/12 x squared. And that's it. Questions on this here? We ready for the next one? Well, vertex is still 0, 0, which means h is 0 and k is 0. Now, they gave us the directrix as y equals, just like the last one. So to find A, we need to find P. And we're able to find P from the directrix. Our K minus P is negative 2.5. Really doesn't matter if that's a decimal or fraction. We just need to find the value of P. Bless you. K in our case is, well, still 0. So here we can really think of this as negative P is equal to negative 2.5. Divide both sides by negative 1, telling us P is 2.5. A is 1 over 4P, 1 over 4 times 2.5, which is 0.1. So, before we start plugging all this in, are there questions on how we found AHK? You good with AHK? Well, we have 0.1 times x minus 0 squared plus 0, or y is just equal to 0.1x squared. 1/10, 0.1 are the same thing. So if we wrote it in fractional form, it'd be 1/10 x squared, decimal 0.1x squared. Questions on this here? Directrix, x equals negative 3. Directrix, just from the general form for x equals h minus p. So just from this here, I know that h minus p is equal to negative 3. Now we know what the vertex is at this point just because of what the lesson is, yes? But does the problem tell us the vertex? It actually does. Yeah. It just hit it in the instructions that the vertex is 0, 0. So h is still 0, which is telling us that negative p is equal to negative 3. Yes. Well, if negative p equals negative 3, positive 3 should equal positive 3, yes. I changed the sign on one, I've got to change the sign on the other. Or we can multiply or divide by negative 1, and we'll get to the same spot. Now we need A. A is 1 over 4 times P. 1 over 4 times 3, so A is 1 over 12. There we go. Questions on this here? Questions on anything we've done so far? Again, at any point, if I'm going a little too fast, just let me know. I will slow down. We're ready for the next one. Now, the next one, this one's the first one we've actually gotten with focus. All the last 3 have been directrix, yes? Now, directrix is nice because it pretty much tells us which one. It's either x equals or y equals. We have one or the other. Now, the vertex, again, is still 0, 0. Which one changed from the vertex to focus? H. So it's X because it's the one with H plus P. So that means our focus is general form is H plus P, comma, K, yes? This one's nicer than directrix because it's saying that H plus P is negative 2, yes? Well, H is 0. You can go away. So P is, I don't have to do a thing to it. It just told me P is negative 2. Which means A is 1 over 4 times P, 1 over 4 times negative 2. So A is now because we have H plus P comma K, our general form is our X is equal to A times Y minus K squared plus H. So if we plug A in, we get negative 1/8 times Y minus 0 squared plus 0. So X is equal to negative 1/8 Y squared. Questions on this here? On a side note, one of the nice things with these problems is when H and K are the exact same value, even if you flip them, you still get the same answer. We feel good with this here. We need to see another one of this type. That's it. Again, I do these in this order because it makes these a little bit nicer, because when we go through and solve them when the vertex is not 0, 0, when we go back to it being 0, 0, it makes it a lot easier to work out. But that's it.